Why is it said that your 20s are the age of broken dreams? What was your childhood dream? Maybe back then, when someone asked you about your dream, you confidently told the whole world that you wanted to become a talented artist, a great doctor helping the poor, or a brave police officer protecting the weak. If you were more imaginative, you might have said you wanted to be a princess or a hero in some fairy tale. That was your dream then. But what about now? What's your dream today? When asked that question, you suddenly freeze for a moment, then take a long time trying to figure out what you truly want to do. Canadian writer Douglas Coupland once said, "At 20, I knew I would never become a rock star. At 25, I knew I wouldn't become any kind of expert. And by 30, darkness crept in. I began to wonder if I would ever be satisfied with my life." Setting aside wealth or success, you, and maybe even I, are still struggling, feeling stuck in our jobs, searching for our true selves, standing at a chaotic crossroad, not knowing where to go or what to do. The 20s are the boulevard of broken dreams. One by one, people say goodbye to the ambitions of their childhood. They begin to face endless confusion about life and the future. In popular psychology, this period is often called the quarter-life crisis, a term similar to a midlife crisis. According to clinical psychologist Alex Falk, this natural phase is filled with anxiety, disillusionment, doubt, and disappointment. When your career is going nowhere, relationships are fragile and uncertain, and your finances are unstable. Those going through this crisis don't know what to do, don't know who they're becoming, are too afraid to dream, and are too scared to leave their comfort zones. They feel hopeless because they were not born with the advantages others seem to have. They feel inferior, thinking they'll never be enough. Everything feels overwhelming. They cry out of frustration at the burdens they have to carry and suddenly feel very alone and lost. The root causes of this quarter-life crisis come from many aspects: financial pressure, social and family expectations, work, friends, and love. In their 20s, young people begin to grow up and step into the real world. They start thinking about careers, trying new jobs, living independently for the first time, and learning how to face everything on their own. These experiences often lead to feelings of isolation and loneliness. Today's youth are experiencing the quarter-life crisis more intensely than ever before, and if they don't recognize it soon, the consequences could be severe. According to a UNICEF study, between 8% and 29% of adolescents in Vietnam suffer from mental health conditions. It's estimated that at least 3 million young people in Vietnam are struggling with psychological issues. In truth, the quarter-life crisis doesn't always occur exactly at a quarter of your life. It happens during the transition into adulthood. In the article Forest of Life by Marquetta, life is described as going through 4 phases: mimicry, self-discovery, commitment, and legacy. In phase 1, mimicry, a child depends entirely on their caregiver. They observe and copy the actions of others to fit into the community. But in phase 2, self-discovery, they begin seeking their own identity, creating a unique version of themselves that differs from the crowd. And this is the phase when many fall into crisis. This crisis phase can be broken down into 4 smaller stages: confusion and helplessness. When your rational mind ties you down, leaving you unsure whether to let go or hold on. Questioning and exploration. When you begin asking yourself about your future, new possibilities, and your own feelings about life. This stage is a storm of emotions and pressure, from yourself, family, and society. Stabilization, where you start to regain composure, face everything you've gone through and are going through. This might be the most magical phase, as your job, career, and love life start to become clearer in your mind. Execution, the phase where you take real action, from passions to plans to building an independent life. Everything slowly begins to fall into place the way you want. Understanding these phases helps you know what to do during the quarter-life crisis. First, recognize that this crisis is inevitable. Breaking it down into stages helps you realize that it's completely normal. Everyone, yes, even the most successful people, has been through this. A helpful solution is to share your struggles with someone you trust. That way, both you and they will know that you're not the only one feeling lost. Even if you haven't found your path right away, just having that conversation can make you feel less alone as if you're not the only wandering child in the adult world. But don't stop at just thinking, so that's what it is, and shrugging it off. Go find the real cause of your problem. Maybe you need to try something new. Say yes. Changing your environment, moving to a different city, might just be your rescue rope. On the self-development circle, young people at this phase are stuck in the comfort zone cluster, and when they try to move out, they immediately face the fear zone. All the worries and challenges of life, many of which are self-created. But do you see it? There's an arrow pointing straight ahead. If you're brave enough to keep going, you'll break through the fear zone and enter the learning zone, acquiring new skills, solving long-standing problems. And eventually, you'll proudly step into the growth zone, the final stage, where you find your ideals, your dreams, and your life goals. One more thing, don't compare yourself to others. Even though comparisons might motivate you, no comparison is truly fair, except the one between your present self and your past self. There's nothing more disheartening than seeing your peers, or younger people, achieve incredible success while you're still stuck. But remember, everyone blooms at different times. Some people succeed early and shine brightly, while others must go through a long and difficult youth before reaching the peak of their career. As long as you keep trying, your moment will come. At the same time, manage your expectations realistically. If you keep chasing impossible goals, you'll only push yourself deeper into crisis. This phase might require you to spend a lot of time alone. It may seem awful, but it's how your emotional intelligence will be sharpened. You'll learn to control your feelings, not lose your balance, and let the negative emotions pass. You'll understand yourself better. Everyone struggles in this phase. After surviving the quarter-life crisis, you'll still have many other crises waiting ahead. Accept the reality that you won't succeed on the first try, maybe not even the second or third. Every accomplishment takes persistent effort. Allow yourself the time to experience life and grow through your mistakes, so that with each new try, you'll get closer to the best version of yourself. Don't die at 20.